guys, just wanted to come and show you how the garden is doing, and I'm so excited about these tomatillos. They've been kind of a pain in the butt. Apparently we have like no pollinators here, so all of these have had to be hand pollinated by me, or else we weren't getting any. The blooms were just falling off, which was just frustrating. With tomatillos, they're not like tomatoes. You have to have more than one plant. They don't self-pollinate. So I have 3 plants here, and it's been kind of a pain to take pollen from one plant and take it over to another plant, and then take that over to another plant. And I think I always start right here, which is funny because there's very few tomatillos on this one. And then I go to this one, which there's a couple, but not very many. And then I end on this plant here. And this one is just full of them. They're all over. And then I usually go from this plant back to this one, back to this one. Repeat a lot of times using this little paintbrush. In about another hour or so, the flowers will actually be open. They close at night. But you can see all the little tomatillos that are shading out everything else now. My poor sage back there. Ignore the dogs. My jalapeno is quite happy. Apparently that's one thing I can grow very well. I've kind of been ignoring my herbs. The basil. There's sage. Here's a tomato. And this tomato is just crazy. It's absolutely insane. This is a Juliet grape tomato. And there are so many tomatoes on this plant. It's insane. They're everywhere. Every bunch is just full. There's a lot more on the back side I can't see from here, but they're everywhere. Sorry, I had to go let the dogs out. Had them penned up feeding them breakfast. It's no peace around here at all. Grizzly! Bear! Alright, sorry guys. I shouldn't do videos in the morning. It is total chaos in the mornings because it's feeding time. But this is the Juliet tomato. It's a grape tomato. Got it from H-E-B for a whopping like $1.97. And it has totally gone crazy. And I love this trellis. When it was little, I staked it just to get it up to the cattle panel. And now that it's on the cattle panel, I have clips and zip ties, and I've weaved it in and out of this panel. So it's pretty much holding itself up. This is like so much better than fighting with a tomato cage and not being able to see what's going on in there. So here's my San Marzano. It's definitely a slow growing bush. I also got it from H-E-B for $1.97. And it is totally covered in tomatoes everywhere. So I guess I can't complain. It's a little bush, but it is covered in them. There's even more on the back. Look at this, you can really see all the tomatoes from outside. They're just like so many tomatoes. I love this plant. This corner is a little bit crazy. The garlic chives are constantly taking over everything. My favorite daisy plant over there. Really sad peppers so far, but I did plant them underneath my shade cloth because I know what's going to happen here soon when the triple digits start hitting this weekend. And this bell pepper does already have peppers finally. Swiss chard. My poor green beans that are trying to survive the rat attack. You can see all these little bushes where the beans were have been chewed into little pieces. But it is trying to come back, so maybe. soon. I know it doesn't look like much yet, but this is going to be my little pond. It's only a little over half buried in the ground. I am still building up the waterfalls. It is running, test running a solar pump, and it is working, and it has worked all night long. So that's pretty cool. It's not going to be very strong, but I don't need it to be. It's never quiet here. Like, seriously, there's roosters crowing, goats screaming, dogs barking, nonstop. As you can see, my Toggenburg has figured out how to reach her nose in and get the very tips of my cucumbers. But check out my little auto waters. It's really hard for me to get the hose back here, and I buy a ton of bottled water for the reptiles because it doesn't leave hard water on the cages. This one has 2 holes, one on each side for each plant, and it's a nice slow drip, and I don't have to drag the hose back here. Here's another one. I'd say it's doing a pretty good job keeping these plants happy. Oh, my poor zucchini. It has rained so much that, yeah, I've been ripping out powdery mildew leaves like crazy. And, well, they're still going in every which direction. I've had to hand pollinate all of these. Some have worked, some haven't, but I haven't had any vine borers. And actually, I really haven't had pollinators in here, even though I've had it open. There hasn't been pollinators in the garden anywhere. This one I was trying to control, and the plants just kind of decided on their own which way they're going. So eventually these are going to come out, and I've got more started over there with my handy little auto water drip system. Drips very slowly. Here's my sweet potato tub. It's just starting to grow up. Plant I probably won't grow again, chamomile. It's just not happy. I can't seem to make it happy. Catmint over there. Leeks. Bee balm. My potatoes. Lots of potatoes. I hope these will turn out. This next one was store-bought potatoes that started to sprout, so I decided to throw them in here. And then over here, these two are actually, I was at Tractor Supply right after a rainstorm and all their potatoes got soaking wet. So they had them marked down, and it was normally, they were on clearance for like $4.99, and they were $4.98 off, so I got them for a penny. Here's more of the penny potatoes. These may be too late, but I'm going to put a shade cloth here, so maybe. It's a mess in here, I know.